Token, we have presentation for Coach.
Coach, congratulations. Great win. We invite you back to Atlanta to play in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl and the CFP quarterfinal.
It's an honor. Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Golf clap? Golf clap? Nobody?
Not even a golf clap. All right, guys, if you have something to record with, get it up here. We'll get started with Coach in a second. All right, we'll let Coach open up with a few comments, and then we'll go to some questions.
Alrighty. I think first of all, what an environment for college football this was. From the moment we pulled up on the buses, our Bevo walk, you could feel the energy. The crowd was tremendous. It was a great atmosphere. I think, college football got this one right. As much as we critique some of the things that are happening in our game right now, this idea of a home playoff game with this 12-team format, this was pretty special, and one that we were humbled and honored to be part of here at DKR. So I hope everybody enjoyed that, because we surely did. Heck of a game. The story of the game, I think, obviously, is us finding the run game offensively. To have two 100-yard rushers in the game and establishing ourselves on the ground to create balance offensively, I thought was critical to the game. And then to get some really key stops defensively, especially there in the fourth quarter. The goal line stand, and then obviously the stop there at the end on fourth down was big. And just proud of our guys. You get into playoff mode. It's not really about what did it look like. It's, do you have one more point than they have to come out on top so you can continue to play. And we get to continue to play here in a couple weeks in Atlanta. And we're obviously very excited about that. A couple things from an injury standpoint. Trey Wisner kind of banged his knee. He was available to come back in. We made a decision to go with Blue and Gibson. Jake Majors on that interception kind of took that blindside shot. He also was available to come back in. We decided to make that decision to hold him. And then Cam Williams, injured his knee there. Tried to go. We'll get an MRI here this evening and see where he's at. So those were the three ones there. But more than anything else, it's I'm proud of our guys. We talked a lot about responding to adversity around here, and whether it's individual adversity or team adversity. And I'm really proud of this group, because nobody hung their head coming out of Atlanta. It was, okay, let's go on to the next mission. Let's go win 4 more games. And you can't win 4 until you win the first one, and we were able to do that. So now we got to win 3 more. But you can't win 3 more if you don't win the next one. So we'll handle it accordingly with some time for the players over Christmas break, game planning with the coaches and making sure that we're ready to go come January 1st.
Thanks, Coach. We're going to go to questions. Raise your hand if you have one. Start with Josh over here on the left.
Steve, we talked a lot about Jaden and the season he's had. He had the ankle early. He's had some ball security stuff. Just how, from a head coach standpoint, just how satisfying is it to see him play as well as he did on the stage?
That's just what I told him in the locker room. I gave him a big hug and just tell him how proud I was of him. As I touched on the team adversity coming out of Atlanta, and we talked about individual adversity last night as well. And to think about that young man, fighting through the ankle injury earlier in the season, having some fumble issues, but continuing to practice well, continuing to be a really good teammate. The intent over the last few weeks, a month of the way he's been practicing, for him to have the night like he had tonight or today, just really proud of him. Because this day and age, especially in social media, our guys can get on there and they're going to read the worst things ever that people want to say about them. And, I'm sure there was plenty of stuff that people wanted to say to him about not holding on to the ball. But the fact that between Coach Choice, myself, our staff, his teammates believed in him, and that he was able to continue to work and improve his game, and then to have a game like this in the playoff, just really proud of him. But I think that is kind of symbolic of everybody on our team. Everybody's been dealing with stuff. We've been dealing with injuries and all sorts of things. And so, but that's if I know one thing about our team, that we respond. When times get tough, we respond, and Jaden was a great example of that.
On your right.
Steve, what was the message to your running backs and your offensive linemen in the 2 weeks since Atlanta?
I always put up what it takes to win each game. And, I cover it from a special team standpoint, an offensive standpoint, a defensive standpoint, and then a team standpoint. And one of the first bullet points I put up in this room was run to win. That we needed to run the football to win this game, and we're going to need to run the football to advance in these playoffs, and that's what playoff football is about. So we really challenged them on the run game, and from the opening meeting, getting ready for the ball game, to the intent in which we practiced, I thought we had a good plan. I thought Quinn did a great job. On both Jaden Blue's touchdown runs, those were audibles by Quinn to that run. And so, one, him handling the run game, and then two, that mechanism at the line of scrimmage of getting that check and then blocking it really well to spring him on those two runs. So there's a lot that goes into the run game. We always say the run game takes all 11, and all 11 did it tonight.
Here on the left, Jeff.
Coach, we've known for a while now that this defense is special, but the way they finished this game with the goal line stand and pass hit on fourth down, what did that say to you?
Well, it's just who they are, and again, we weren't perfect, and we got a little loose in the back end. They made some plays, and a credit to Clemson, credit to Cade. I thought Cade had a nice ball game for them, and he's a tough guy because, there's the timing throws, and then there's those off-schedule plays that he makes. But at the end of the day, when our backs were against the wall, what a stand from our 1 yard line to get that stop. And then I would have loved to finish the game with the last 7.5 minutes with the ball in our hands. We kind of stub our toe there, and the defense to go out and get another stop, right, when you got to have it. And I think that's a sign of a great defense. I don't know if this was our best game defensively, but when we had to have it, they made those plays. And that's, to me, that's a sign of a great defense.
In the middle, Eric.
Steve, just going back to the offense for a second, can you just talk about the ability to start fast? I know that's kind of been a bit of a deal this year. You get the first opening drive touchdown, the fourth time this year, you got an opening drive touchdown. Just talk about your offense's ability to start fast.
Yeah, no, I thought that was big tonight. We talked about that in the locker room as we were taking the field, and we deferred the kickoff, and they went down and got a touchdown. But then to go, 3 straight drives to make it 21-7, I thought we really took the momentum of the game at that point. And it was about execution, and that's, execution lies in the details. And I thought our guys were really detail-oriented all week, and they were detail-oriented the way they played tonight. And I think that showed up on our third down conversions. Granted, we were pretty aggressive on fourth down, which we're always going to be, and we didn't hit that number the way we would have liked today. But I just thought the execution, there weren't even that many third downs in the first half because we were executing at a really high level, and that's because our guys were really detail-oriented.
Stay in the middle, Thomas.
Coach, you kind of touched on with Cade. What does he do to put pressure on the defense, besides his mobility? And from a former quarterback's perspective, how would you change or how did your evaluation of him look from seeing him?
Yeah, no, I thought the one thing that they do, which makes it difficult, is when they call their traditional plays, he's equipped enough to see your coverages and to throw it to the right people, and he's got the talent to make those throws. Then they call the designed quarterback runs, whether it's quarterback draws or true quarterback runs, that tax you when you're trying to deploy people to defend them. And then he has the ability to extend plays. And how many times did he get outside the pocket and make some really critical throws for them? So I think we knew it coming in. It was all three of those things were going to be the challenge of trying to defend him that way. I'm proud of Cade. I've known him for a long time. I've been recruiting him, I feel like, forever when he was in high school. The fact that his career didn't start off maybe the way he would have liked at Clemson, and there was a lot of expectations for him there. But to come out and have the season that he had this year for them, to get him to the playoffs, to be ACC champs, that's a credit to him. He's a very good football player.
On your right, Kirk.
Steve, how much does moving forward this running game benefit you as far as other people having to scheme for you? And if you could just speak to the cross training when you had to use a makeshift line today.
Yeah, no, the run game is really important for us on a lot of levels. One, our offense is better when we can run it because then the balance can really kick in for us, and to be able to run it, to throw it, to screen it, to RPO, and not all those things were there tonight. I thought we were aggressive, and Quinn was aggressive down the field. We got a couple pass interference calls. He hits Matt Golden for a big one. we just, I didn't see the play with Wingo on another deep ball. And so it kind of opens up a lot that we do. And I think naturally when we can run it effectively, and teams have to prepare for a lot when they're getting ready to play us. As far as the offensive line, I mean, what a credit to Trevor Gooseby. A few weeks ago, Kelvin goes down 7 plays in. He goes in at left tackle against A&M and then starts against Georgia at left tackle. Today, Cam Williams goes down. He goes in and plays right tackle. Jake Majors gets knocked out. Hayden Connor slides into center, and Cole Hudson goes and plays left guard, who had been playing right guard, rotating with DJ Campbell. And so, I give a lot of credit to Kyle Flood on that, because he's the master of cross-training these guys and getting them to understand the why we cross-train. And it was we needed it tonight. We've needed it here the last month or so of this season, but today more so than ever, of guys being able to play multiple positions.
Over here on your far left, Cedric.
Hey, Steve, to be tested like you were today against a great offense that gave your defense some problems, how will that benefit you over these next 10 days, because it's easier to coach them up hard after a day?
Yeah, I mean, it's it's like the offense, coming out of the Georgia game. We had to challenge them. We didn't run the ball very well. And so then you challenge them and they can respond. And so the same thing now can go for the defense. We obviously have some things to clean up. But, I think that's kind of the beauty of this team. And we haven't been faced with this a ton, but the versatility we have as a team, we can win games a lot of different ways. And we can win low-scoring, defensive tight games, but we can also score points when we have to, and extend leads when we have to do that. And I thought tonight, when they cut it to a 1-score game, the response the offense had to Blue's long touchdown run to open it back up to a 2-score game, that's what this team gives us the ability to do. We're just not one-dimensional. We're very versatile, and I think there's more there for us to even improve upon, and things that we didn't even have to use tonight that I think we could have if the game would have gone in even a different direction.
On your right, Anwar.
Coach, talk about your team's ability to respond to adversity. Clemson scores with an opening drive. It kind of hits you there. To the point you had the injuries, obviously, that is cut it to a 1-score game. But you responded each time. Can you just talk about that?
Yeah, that really was, I always give the guys a talk the night before a game. And it's ironic when some of the things you talk about come true. And literally my talk to the team after some of the X's and O's that were going to be needed in the game was all about adversity. And from going back to the summer, and we did our first Culture Wednesday, we talked about, one of our 4 H's that everybody wrote down was a hardship in your life that they had to overcome, and then how we overcome those things. And we talked about individual adversity this season. I talked about Cedric Baxter and Christian Clark and Derek Williams, being out for the year. I talked about Kelvin having to miss a game. I talked about Quinn, and the injuries he's had to endure this season. We talked a lot. We talked about ourselves and responding to the first Georgia loss, and then how we were going to respond to this time around. And so that literally was the whole talk. And then we did a culture activity where each guy had to write down an adversity that they had endured this season and how they responded to it. And then they had to write a note to another guy in the room that they were proud of how they had responded to adversity this season. So it's ironic that we got faced with the adversity we did tonight and then the way we responded, because they've proven to me time and time again that we do respond. And that's why I said a couple weeks ago, I have no pause that we won't respond. When we get knocked down, we get back up. And so proud of them for that tonight.
On your far right, Joe.
On the 3rd and 4th down stop, can you talk about what you saw specifically, the Klubnik run and the try to hand it off, what worked on that play?
Yeah, on the Klubnik run, I thought we did a really good job of setting the edge. They kind of got into a little bit of an unbalanced look. I'd be remiss. I don't know exactly who was where on the play, but I know we set the edge really well, and then that allowed our defenders kind of inside out to make the stop when he turned up there on the 1. And then on the last play, it just was kind of typical of who we are. We've got big people, and they know how to play a physical brand of football. And when we get challenged like that, it's kind of reminiscent of, we talk a lot about, we do team run good on good, and we're going to run it. and the defense knows we're going to run it. And I think that's part of our identity, that when we run it, can we go run it and get those first downs? And when the opponent's going to run it, can we make those critical stops? And so I don't have a lot of pause. Now, sometimes we can get schemed and get blocked and they get us. But if it's one-on-one and we fit everything right, I always feel pretty good about us being able to make those stops in those critical moments.
Over here on the back left, Brett.
Hey, Steve, you mentioned how special this environment was, having a home playoff game on campus. Would you be in favor of adapting the NFL model and that you put all playoff rounds on campus until maybe when you get to the title game and put that in a neutral site?
I don't know. You know, I don't. That's way smarter people than me. Or maybe they'll put me in the room with some smart people to figure some other stuff out. Because we got a lot of things in college football, and this is kind of one that is kind of far down on the barometer that we're dealing with. But I don't know. It was a great environment, you know, and I think we're going to learn a lot about this college football playoff. From seeding and home games and bowl games and recruiting calendars and school calendars. There's a lot. You know, this is first time out. And but I can speak to this, and I can speak to the games that I watched on TV. It surely created a great environment here. But as a fan of college football, I mean, last night when we get done meeting, to watch that environment at Notre Dame, or this morning when I'm up watching that environment at Penn State, gosh, it's great for college football. You know, I feel like the popularity of college football right now is at an all-time high, and people are intrigued by it. People are loving watching the competitiveness of the games, the parity that's going on right now in the game. Where it goes from here, I don't exactly know. Do we expand it? Do we not? What does it look like? But it surely has created a lot of buzz. And I think it created a lot of buzz all season long because there were more teams involved with an opportunity to go win a championship. So where it goes from here, I don't know. But it sure was kind of fun tonight. That was for sure.
Back right, Bob.
Michael Tapp had the big hit on Cade on 3rd and 1 at the goal, and then had the big hit across the middle to end the game. Can you speak to maybe what you think this meant to him to do this against, you know, one of his closest?
Oh, I'm sure it meant a ton. You know, I always like to say, sometimes you have your most fun competing against those that are closest to you. And I could say that. You know, I had an opportunity to compete against Pete Carroll after I'd been an assistant for him for almost 8 years, and to compete against him. I had an opportunity to compete against Nick Saban a couple different times, who I respect so much. And so the ones you respect, and then you get a chance to compete against them, and then kind of come out on top. I know that I'm sure it feels great for him because of the respect that he has for Cade and the great wins they had when they were together at Westlake. And so I'm proud of Michael. You know, I joked with him. I said, I think you dropped that interception on 3rd down just so you could make the play on 4th down. So, but the guy just continues to play at a high level, and I'm so glad that the media recognized him from an All-American standpoint. I know the coaches in the SEC didn't, and I think they missed the mark on that guy not being an All-SEC player, but you guys surely did, and I think he's more than deserving of the accolades that he gets.
Stay in the back right. You're up.
All right. Hey, Coach, congratulations on the win. Last year, you were so close to the championship, and for this year, what is your message to those players that were on the team last year to keep that momentum going?
Yeah, I mean, we don't forget. You know, I think that's the first thing. I think we've got a group of guys that were here with us a year ago that didn't forget that feeling in New Orleans last year. And to get as close as we were and not to have that opportunity to get into that game, I think really fueled us, quite frankly, in the offseason, in winter conditioning, in spring ball, in those summer workouts when we're running in DKR at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and it's 115 degrees, and why we put in the work that we put in. And, you know, we're far from that. You know, we got a couple more games to go to get there, but it sure serves as a great motivation, you know, when you can get close as we were. And, you know, like I told them last night, the other thing I said, you know, we got to be really proud of one thing. Last year was a 4-team playoff. This year, it got expanded to 12, but we were the only team of those 4 teams that made it back into the 12-team playoff. And so it's not easy to get on this stage, and they earned it. And they played really good all year, and then it was the focus was on one game. Let's just go win this game, and then we'll regroup and get ready for the next one. And so I thought they did a really good job of handling that. we all know what the end goal that we have and that we want, but that can't happen unless we focus on what's right in front of us. And I thought our guys did a really good job of that this week.
Got time for two last ones on your far left. Corey?
Congrats on the win, Coach.
Thank you.
I know earlier this week you mentioned trying to improve in the red area. What do you like about the way your team executed today, and also just your play calling from that side of the field?
Yeah, I thought we did a nice job early in the game. You know, I really did. I thought that the execution was there. I thought we were moving the line of scrimmage pretty good, and so the run game was helpful. I thought it was a heck of a touchdown pass and read by Quinn and Gunner. That was a little bit of a adjustment to Gunner's route predicated on the coverage that we weren't quite anticipating. But that's two guys that trust one another, you know, and you could feel Quinn's trust for Gunner. So all that was great. You know, I was, quite frankly, I was kicking myself when we got stopped down there inside the 5 and settled for the field goal. And I was kind of kicking myself when we got the turnover and didn't come away with anything with points there on the 4th down. But hey, I think we got better, but I do think we can continue to improve.
Last one in the back. Sam?
Hey, Steve, I want to go back to the first Jaden touchdown. You mentioned Quinn checked it. Looked like you guys kind of had a moment of excitement after that because of the decision he made there. Can you tell me, as a 3-year starter, how often does he do things like that don't necessarily show up in the box score that have helped his team get here?
Well, what was interesting about it, I think it was maybe 2 days before the game, we gave him that look, and we were anticipating it could be one or another call, and we gave him the look, and we were giving it to him early, and so he was checking it really early, and I said, you know, they might not give it to you this early, and we had a motion on it. I said, you might have to check it after the motion and then check the play. And sure enough, it happened tonight. You know, he motioned Juan Davis, then he saw it, then he checked it and got to the run. So that's just time together, time on task, he and I, you know, and him trusting, you know, when we tell him certain things like that it might happen that way, him trusting it and then executing it. So kind of a cool moment, because that's having a 3-year starter who's been in your system is very comfortable doing that type of stuff.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
All right, y'all. Thank you.
Everybody hang tight. We're going to bring a group of defensive players and Coach Kwiatkowski and then a group of offensive players up to the front table.
I can, because I can do 30 minutes. I can just, I have unlimited, so I'll just leave my phone up here. Okay, I'm going to have mine as well, but, and then, oh, you can just, if we do breakout, because everyone's going to come up here. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know how. We'll just see. Price is okay? I don't know. Because she has unlimited. Yeah, I have auto free. I know. Because I'm because of what? Because it's free. Okay, so I'll have mine up here.
Guys, reset, please. We're going to start with a few defensive guys first. Your far left, our coordinator, Pete Kwiatkowski. Third seat in, Andrew Makuba. Raise hands, please. We'll bring the microphones to you guys. Joe, please go ahead. Please start us off.
PK, you've had 2 games in the past 3 games decided, or very much influenced by fourth down stops. How big was that stop, and what did you see on the play?
Yeah, it was obviously a huge moment in the game. For us to get that stop, to hold it to a two-score game was huge. And the offense was able to get the ball, take some time off the clock, and then when we did go back on the field, being up by 2 scores, that totally changes how you call a game. Knowing that they had to push the ball down the field, to score quick, and then obviously try an onside kick if they were able to do that.
Thomas, right in front, please.
Coach, what kind of pressure does Cade put on a defense? Besides his mobility, so really, what was he putting?
Yeah, he's a really outstanding player because he can hurt you with his arm and he can hurt you with his legs, and he's a tough competitor. There's no quitting the guy. His ability to extend plays, his ability to run the ball, that was a big challenge to us because they ran him in quarterback draws and designed quarterback runs, and they're really good at throwing the football. So for us to, we had some different things that we were trying to chop up the front to make it hard for him to run those quarterback draws and still be sound in the back end with our coverage calls.
Leah, second row, right.
When it came to preparing for this game defensively, did you find any conference opponents comparable to the offense that you faced tonight against Clemson?
Yeah, some of them, like Arkansas, they have a good quarterback that was throwing the ball really well and was very good running the ball. A&M's with what they did with their quarterbacks running the ball. There was a lot of, I can't think of them all off the top of my head, but those two come to mind that that have the ability, the dual threat type quarterbacks that put a lot of stress on the pass rush, trying to get to him and not give up quarterback runs, and then their ability to extend plays with their legs and be accurate with the football. And you saw that tonight. He did a pretty good job.
Eric, go ahead.
This question for both PK and Drew, Coach, you first, just kind of piggyback off of Leah's question. It felt as if Cade Clemson's ability to extend plays with his legs and get the ball out of his hands downfield a little bit different than you guys see this year. Is that fair or foul? What you just talked about, his ability to, again, extend plays, but also use his arm.
Yeah. I mean, his ability to get out of the pocket, his ability to design quarterback runs, and then we call them RPOs, but he has the run-pass option. He drops back. We're playing with a light box. He's going to run the draw. If we're playing with 2 backers in the box, he's going to throw the football. So it was a cat and mouse game all night long, just trying to change up those pictures.
Andrew, go ahead, follow.
For me, I'd say, with him, our main thing was, try to make him and force him to play the position. We try to give him a lot of looks in the back end, a lot of disguises, and force him to, actually play the position. But, I feel like he did a good job in the game, escaping the pocket and, making downfield throws, or whether they kind of had the QB run designs going a little bit. But I feel like overall we did a good job containing him and, playing tight coverage in the back end.
CJ, go ahead.
Yeah, Drew, you get the win against your former team.
Yeah.
How sweet was that? And then also, just moving forward, what's the evaluation process for the defensive backs to, I guess, tighten things up back there as well?
Obviously felt good to get the win against, my former team. I'm glad I'm on this side of the win. And as far as the guys in the back end, we didn't really nothing that. We surprised or we shocked or anything like that. I know I believe in the guys in the back end, and I know I wouldn't even say we had a bad game. Just a couple things we got to clean up as far as technique and things like that. And I believe we're gonna be straight, man. It ain't nothing to worry about.
Josh, go ahead. Far left.
Sorry, Pete, just to follow that up, 14 games into the season, knowing that there's up to 3 more, how would you sort of evaluate this defense, where they've been, and maybe how much better they can still be?
Well, starting way back in January, the guys showed up on a mission to get better and improve on what we did last year. And getting to the first game, get through the first few games, the guys preparation has been outstanding week in and week out. They show up, win or lose, with that mindset. We got to get better, and they have. And the confidence that we developed early in the season has just grown. And today, we put those corners in a lot of one-on-one situations, and they made good plays on some 50-50 balls. I know the guys are frustrated, and they could have played it better. And we'll go back to work, and we'll improve.
Back camera, Will.
For Andrew, a couple of big defensive stands you guys have had. One today, the one against A&M, the deep in Berkshire. Can you kind of take us into like these big moments for this defense? How you guys are able to step up when it matters most?
I'll say for me, as a unit on defense, I say it's pride. I feel like we take pride in not letting guys score or get in our paint. I know we do a good job of doing that. So in those situations, the only thing we preach is to not let those guys in our paint. If we don't let nobody in our paint, I like our chance of winning all the games that we play. So that's just something we take pride in as a defense.
I'll add on that. Everybody, no matter what situation we get put in, they have the mindset that they're going to attack it, and that's a resiliency, be able to handle adversity, and it's just a tough bunch of guys, mentally tough guys that doesn't matter what kind of situation we put in, we're going out there, and the goal is to get the ball back for the offense, and they've done that all year long.
Got time for about 3 more last ones on this group. Cedric, far left.
Hey, Pete, what's to say about your defense? It always seems to be a different guy to step up each game. Tonight, you had Phil Biddle in the middle of everything, and you had Vernon Broughton and Alfred Collins making plays early. What does it say about the depth that you have at your disposal?
Yeah, we got a lot of good players that care about each other and play for each other. And it doesn't matter who's making the plays, all right? Everybody plays a selfless brand of football, and whoever's the guy that steps up and makes the plays, they feed off of it, and that's what team defense is all about.
Sam, go ahead, please.
For both Drew and PK, Drew first. How much pride do you guys take in the level of physicality that you guys play with, and how much is that a focal point for you guys on a week-in, week-out basis?
I mean, we take a lot of pride in that. We try to go out there every week. Come out there and play with violence. Cause that's how you play this game the right way, with violence. And that's something we try to get across from the D line, the linebackers, to the corners, to the safety. Just go out there, play aggressive, and play violent. And what was your second question? Oh, that was it.
Corey, go ahead. Second row left.
Yeah, Pete, just wanted to ask, Jai and Tab, they described you as a genius throughout these last couple months. So I know tonight you got some timely blitzes with Gilbo. And so just take me through that decision-making when those blitzes come, what goes on through your mind, and also when Cooper, can you just talk about how bad you want to catch that pick on Cade and take us through that play?
Well, yeah, I'm humbled by that, but without these guys executing at a high level, I look like a schmuck. So, I mean, they get all the credit because they're the ones that are preparing. We're putting them in the position, and they got to go out and execute, and they've done it on a consistent basis this year.
Terry, last one.
I had to answer his question.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I mean, that especially, I don't know, for some reason, just this game, I feel like that one is one that I'm kind of disappointed on because I wanted that one really bad. But I'm gonna get other ops, so it's all right. So I'm gonna give me another one. I'm not tripping.
Terry, go ahead. Last one.
Coach, there's a word I want to use. I don't think it's the right word. It's too late. It's called relentless. This defense has been relentless the whole season. What did you do at the beginning of the season to continually prepare them to get tougher and more violent and just relentless the entire process?
They've been hearing the same message since we got here 4 years ago. It just getting the guys obviously believing, playing hard, playing for each other. And that's, we talk about culture around here, and the culture of this team is that playing for each other and part of that is playing hard, playing physical, all right, and leaving everything out there on the field.
Thank you all. Hang right there, we'll bring in a
Hang
group
tight,
of
we'll bring
offense.
offensive guys in.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. For sure, for sure.
Appreciate your time. Jaden, come on this side.
Not to wear it, yeah. I should have brought it. It is.
Take this far seat. Take my hat off. This seems like a more formal event. Offensive group, from your left to right. Quinn Ewers, Gunnar Helm, Hayden Connor, Jaden Blue. Raise hands, we'll bring a microphone to you. Joe Cook, start us off, far right, please.
Jaden, 2 big touchdowns today. Can you kind of walk us through what you saw on the 30 or the closer one and then the 70-yarder after that?
Yeah, the first thing, I want to give a lot of credit, to the guys up front. Those guys paid away for me, but, we made a big emphasis, that we was going to have to run the ball in order, to win this game. So, like I said, I credit these guys. Those guys are the reason that those 2 touchdowns happened.
Josh, go ahead.
Hey, what was the second half like? You have switch positions, and thrusting into a big spot like that, into a position that you don't play all the time, generally.
Yeah, it was interesting for sure. But, Jake being such a good leader and such a good role model for that position, it was really easy to, transition over and have him coach me up on the sideline whenever I needed to. Jeff Howe, far right.
Yeah, Quinn Stark was talking about how you checked the both touchdown runs Jaden had. Just talk about that process of when you're, reading the defense pre-snap, and then when you check the right play and it pops like that. How does that feel for you as a quarterback?
I mean, yeah, it's a great feeling anytime you're able to get the offense into the correct play call for certain looks, and I think it's just a testament to the coaches giving us those looks in practice, and it being kind of easy to see and easy to be able to check.
Eric, right up here in front.
Jaden, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but that 77-yard TD run, was that a season's worth of frustration just being released when you scored that one there?
Yeah, of course, it was a sigh of relief, after everything I've been going through. But, it's all God. I stayed patient, and, luckily I saw a crease, and it was just everything from there.
Far right, Chip, go ahead, please.
For Quinn and Gunnar, Gunnar, you broke the single-season receptions record for a tight end at Texas. Your reaction to that, and Quinn, just the connection that you've had with him this season?
Yeah, first of all, I think somebody predicted me to have 9 receptions this year. And then, super cool feeling. Super blessed, but obviously I wouldn't be in this position without the O-line protecting Quinn. Obviously, without Quinn allowing me to make a great play. I think that our line of communication is constant, and we trust each other out there, and glad I made the play.
Yeah, I think me and Gunnar just have a great connection on and off the field, which I think the off the field helps the on the field. So, we just got a great connection, and it just always is open, it seems like. So it makes my job a whole lot easier for sure.
Danny, right up in front, please.
Dave, what do you think the running game looked tonight, especially after the first game 2 weeks ago?
It all starts in practice. Like I said, coming into this week, we made an emphasis that, we were going to have to run the ball in order to win this game. And, the O-line and, us in that backfield, took a lot of pride in, working on that so we'll be able to run the ball effectively.
Third row, far right.
One question for you. You being so close to last year in a similar position, is that kind of a motivating factor for you to exceed this year as well?
Sorry, say it again.
You being so close last year to the title, is that kind of a motivating factor for you to succeed this year as well?
Yeah, I think it motivates the entire team. Us being so close last year, a couple plays away from going to the national championship, and then who knows what happens. But you can't live in that dream. We just try to go 1-0 each and every day, each and every week, and then see where that gets us.
Far left here, Cedric?
Yeah, for Gunner, did you take the over on the 9 receptions?
Yeah. I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did.
Good. And for you and Quinn, Coach talked about the overcoming adversity, and here you are after Georgia putting together a big win. How does that go well for you guys going back to Atlanta?
Yeah, I mean, I think it just gives testament to our culture once again, you know, coming off a bye week and ultimately a loss to Georgia, a team who beat us twice, and just, you know, kind of circling back in and connecting back with each other and putting in the hours in practice and just getting ready for this game, going out there and competing and ultimately having success in the run game and on the pass game. So, again, I think we played great complementary football tonight. Our job was to put the defense in great positions, and I believe we did that for the most part. And so, you know, if we can continue to play complementary football, I think we're going to be really tough to beat.
Bob Blue, third row right.
For Hayden, just, can you speak to how far this offensive line has come to be in a position where Cam goes down and Jake goes down, and you can still run the ball pretty much at will the rest of the way?
Yeah, it's definitely a brotherhood for sure. You know, we all rely on each other. We all trust each other. Like when Kelvin went down in A&M, Gooseby came in, we didn't skip a beat. And that's just, you know, that's why we practice. That's why we love each other and everything. Brett, fourth row.
Hey, Connor, can you talk about how cool the atmosphere was having a home playoff game, and would you like to see all the playoff games be on campus?
I mean, playing in DCAR is pretty special. You know, we would have liked to have the bye, but getting another game at home is something to be grateful for. You know, getting one more in front of the fans and everything. But I don't know. I kind of like traveling, playing away games. So. Noah back camera well.
For Quinn, you guys have talked about the adversity, bouncing back after the loss, but within games, there's the adversity you start talking about. That was a big message to you guys. How does that come into play during a game, your ability to handle after an opening drive, touchdown to them, or whatever it is, your guys' ability to kind of punch right back?
Yeah, I think we really just do a good job of staying enamored with us and not focused on what just went wrong. We're really just trying to focus on the next play, and I think we really did a good job of that tonight for sure.
Sam, go ahead, please.
For Gunner and Hayden, you guys, especially with what happened up front, and then when things don't necessarily go right in some certain instances, how much pride do you guys take in that there are so many aspects of this team that can help lift you guys? Like if one side is things are not working out, the other side is, things like that.
I think it's like Gunnar said earlier, we play really well, complementary football. You know, when defense got that turnover, you know, it sucked that we didn't put points on the board, but, you know, defense responded again, and then we handled our business. So if we can continue to play complementary football the way that we did today, I think we'll do some good stuff.
Yeah, I think he hit it right on the head. That's everything else.
Go ahead. It's a cop-out.
For Gunner and for Quinn, Coach had kind of said that they threw y'all maybe a look you weren't expecting. Gunner on your touchdown, you had to kind of change up your route. Can you walk us through what you saw and how that happened?
Yeah, so it was more of just a kind of lean and then post route, just kind of selling the corner. And then when the safety kind of bid down, I just took it high. One of my main jobs in that look is to cross the safety's face if the the look's not there for me to get the ball. And when he pinned down, I tell Quinn all the time just to put the ball high, and I'll do my best to go up and make a play. All 6'5" of me, so.
Oh yeah, I mean he did a great job again, like he said. We really harp on crossing the safety's face, but I mean, just a testament to him not being a robot and just running drawings. No, it's cool to see for sure.
Jeff, go ahead.
Question for Hayden and Jaden. Sark was in there and said that he specifically challenged the O-line running backs in the running game after the SEC championship. How did he do that, and how does, being called out in that way motivate something like what we saw today?
Yeah, well, to answer that, going back to the SEC championship, we didn't run the ball well at all, and we went back and watched the film, and those was one of the things that he brought up. We were going to have to run the ball in order to be successful the rest of the way, and he just stayed on us in practice, and the old line, the running backs, the whole offense, took that in, and we were more physical in practice, and we really made a big emphasis on us, running the ball.
Gentlemen,
gentlemen, thank you. We'll let you guys ride. We've got to get another group in here.
Thank you.
Anytime you got 3 left.
Sorry, Jeff.
Players, you should wrap.
Huh? Oh no, I slowed down. I slowed down, so I couldn't tell you.
You turned and gave a little peek. What a big, nice one. Expensive TV.
Got Jade Barron from the far left, Jade Barron, Barron Sorrell, and Michael Taft.
Mookie, Michael Taft. Hold on, I gotta get this shirt real quick. Hold on.
Raise hands, please. We'll bring a microphone to you guys.
Michael Taft, Andrew Makuba. Andrew Makuba, Michael Taft.
All right, we good. We can start.
Andy, go ahead and lead us off, please.
That was cute.
Barry, can you maybe take us through that 4th and 1 stop, and what is it about this defense that's in the game as well, that you guys are able to come up big in these late game situations?
Yeah, in the huddle before, I mean, I'm telling the guys, I mean, this is what we work on. This is what we practice for. We call it red zone lockout. The team might be able to drive down the field, and we can't control where we are, but we're not letting anybody get in the paint. And that's the mentality that we have on this defense, especially on this defensive line. Shout out to Bill. I mean, it's hard for a running back to make a play when the offensive lineman is right in his face as soon as he get the ball. So shout out that guy for sure.
I freaking love you, dude.
I love you too, man.
Second row, go ahead.
Michael, you told us last Monday that your job is to take your opponent's soul, and you actually got a sack. And then after the game, which was one of the great sports moments, you met Cade on the field, and you guys embraced. Friends are friends forever. Can you just walk us through just that whole moment together?
Yeah, well, when you look across the sideline, no matter how close you are with the other opponent, they're your opponent for 60 minutes. So once you step on those through those white lines, then he's your opponent, and that's just how football is. That's how I'm raised. That's how competitive I am, and he's the same way. We were definitely sharing words back and forth, so that was fun. But then at the end of the game, it's all love. He's a great guy. He had a great game. Made us, expose some things that we haven't, I don't know how many yards they had passing, but definitely need to improve. Myself, the defensive backs as a whole. So he helped us out, get ready for next Saturday for sure. So hats off to Cade. He's a baller, but I didn't play good enough. I'm glad that I made that last play because I was ticked off. I didn't play good enough as a competitor. I wanted to do more, but the great thing about football is we had more points than them, and so we get to do it again on January 1st. So I'm so blessed. I'm so excited to have another opportunity with guys like Jade and Barron.
Bob, go ahead, third row.
Jade, can you speak to just what this means, like to Andrew and to Michael and to you for the relationships you guys have? We know what it means in the bigger picture, but to win a game like this against guys that you know and have special bonds with.
I mean, it means everything for those guys, and for me. That's why I wanted to wear a shirt for Andrew Makuba and Michael Taft. A lot of reasons, and a few of the reasons, Andrew used to be at Clemson. He's from the city, and then Michael Taft, he's from the city, and he's playing against his old quarterback. And then those are the guys that I had with me when I won the award. And I said that award, it just wasn't me on it, but also those guys that helped me because they've been pushing me. And then just to kind of follow up with Taft, we got to do better. But I'm so proud of Taft. He wanted to make more plays, but it's not how you start, it's about how you finish. And he finished the correct way, and he sealed the game for us.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to ask you guys about. So Michael and Jade, that game-sealing 4th down hit that you made, Michael, just what are the emotions of the play like that? I'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, for sure. Was so torn because wanted to get out there again and try to make a play. But then again, when your offense gets first downs and they keep burning the clock, it's like, all right, we won the game, so it's whatever. I care about winning more than anything else. That's all I care about. So I could have zero stats. I couldn't get a play in, but if we won, I'm happy. So, but then at the end of the day, we got another opportunity. It's our job as a defense to hold our standard and not let anybody get in our paint. That's what we talk about. So these guys preach is not letting anybody get in our paint. That's what we take pride in. That's what we hunger for. And so somebody had to make a play. I knew that it was time to make a play, and I just made the play that came to me.
I mean, just to follow up, I mean, he kind of hit everything, but I mean, us three, we're all defense leaders out here, and Taft, he just keeps everybody going. No matter adversity that we face, and then Sorrell, he's just always there, just harping just on everybody, just make sure that we staying engaged and just mentally focused. This game's you have to have a lot of strong mental focus to just keep playing, and then having adversity up and downs, them driving down the field, but just to hold us and just to be tight and not let anybody get in the paint when it mattered. That was big.
CJ, third row right, go ahead.
Yeah, Aaron, of course, you get the hand up, pass, the pass deflection for the interception, you get a sack as well. Do you feel like you're playing your best ball right
Shit.
when it comes to the pass rusher?
Pardon me.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you get to make a play, I mean, I'm definitely happy to do that. I mean, that's what I work for, and that's what we work on as a front. But I mean, that's just the standard of Texas defense that we have built. I mean, starting with these guys up here, but that's the standard on this defense is to go out there and make plays. And I mean, yeah, I'm happy I made plays out there, but I get to play again on January 1st, and hopefully that's my best game.
Corey, go ahead.
Yeah, this for everybody. A lot of jokes, a lot of laugh happening right now. How much fun are y'all having just playing with each other this season, and how much does that correlate to the way y'all been playing on the field?
I mean, sometimes I have mood swings. I don't know why, but and I'm just happy. I'm just blessed to be up here with these guys, and we have another opportunity to just continue to play football. But I'm just most proud of how we just bought in. We're still buying into Sark's culture, and we love everybody. And it's not a bond that we have on the field, but we strongly have it off the field, just connecting with people. Me talking to Sorrell, we in different position groups and just things like that, just having a connection with everybody. So I think that's what I love about.
Yeah, it definitely goes just to our culture. I mean, we know what matters, so at the end of the day, we're going to go out there and have fun. And especially on defense, we throwing a party. We're throwing a party every Saturday, and that's what we went out there and did today, and that's what we're going to do next week. But, I mean, it all starts off with fun. I mean, at the end of the day, the stakes are obviously getting higher, but we all picked up the football for a reason. And, I mean, I'm just happy that we all continue to get to play.
Yeah, to follow what they talked about, because I 100% agree, but we get to do this. We're so blessed to be in this opportunity. I think our defense, the one thing that I could describe our defense as, the culture of our defense, is the love for one another. When we break it out after walkthroughs, after timeouts, we're all hands on one another, loving one another, and that's so fun. When you get to the real world and you got to work, then I'll say I'm working. But right now I'm not working. I'm getting to do this. I don't work. I have fun every single day.
Yeah, Michael, it seems like in some ways this game went against script because you guys have given up nothing in the passing game, and Kate had some success. Having run the ball consistently and run for a season high. Is that just kind of evidence of this team's versatility and greatness, or what?
Kirk.
Yeah, well, Cade is a tremendous quarterback. We all knew that. I specifically, knew that. What he can do with his legs, what he can do with his arm. And everybody, it seemed like on their offense, was on the same page. When he was scrambling, they're going to find room in a zone to get open, catch the ball, and get upfield. And so definitely made our job really hard. But I'm so glad that we had that opportunity now to see, all right, let's get better from this. Let's see what we can do moving forward as far as, upping the good of what we're doing and then fixing the bad. And so you never want to forget about the good because you always want to keep pushing the good. But then looking at the bad, how can we fix that? How can we minimize our mistakes? And then, the offense does what they do. I'm so proud of that offense. It feels good when you get to sit on the sideline for 7 minutes coming out of the half, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So they run the rock, and it's so awesome. It hurts for a defense when you're just getting the run. You can't stop it.
Three last ones said, go ahead.
Hey, Aaron, how can a win like this, because it was an imperfect win, you guys had some leakage, how can that help you moving forward in preparation for the return to Atlanta?
Just realizing that it's a blessing that we still get to keep playing, and obviously there's things that we could work on, like you just said, but at the end of the day, we get to go back to work, and that's what we've been doing throughout this whole year. I mean, we've had success on the defense, but it's because we're harping on the details each and every week. And even when there might be a performance where it might seem good to everybody else, we're looking at the tape and we're trying to see what can we do to make it a better win and a better defense performance. So just realizing that we have another opportunity on January 1st, and we're going to take the steps and clean things up so that we could go out there and have a better performance.
First round, Chip, go ahead.
For all three of you guys, you're going up against Arizona State next. Heavy run team, Cam Scadaboo says he's the best running back in the country. Your thoughts on facing that kind of offense?
Yeah, haven't looked at the scouting report yet on Arizona State. I can't wait to do it. Obviously a great challenge. When you get a bye week in this type of platform, this college football platform, that obviously shows a testament to how good you are as a team. So we're going to have a really good opponent. We're going to respect our opponent, and we're going to get ready for the challenge. I'm so excited for the challenge. I know Barron preaches stopping the run all the time, so he's going to be excited for the challenge. And when the opportunity presents itself, we're going to be ready to go. We're going to go get it.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, obviously, I'm blessed just to keep playing and play again on January 1st. But my time being here, I feel like I've heard that a lot, that a team is going to come in here and run the ball on us. And I feel like to say there was a different result a lot of those times. So just looking forward to that challenge again. Everybody up front is going to be looking forward to that challenge, especially this box, because that's what we do as a defense. We just harp on stopping the run. So it'll be fun for that challenge for sure.
It's going to be an amazing challenge. He's a hard downhill running back, and I'm knowing these guys can get everybody on board just to execute. And we're going to trust PK's plan, and we're going to have a good plan to do.
Last one, Eric in front.
Johnny, you talked about Michael Taft's impact of his defense. Why is Michael Taft more deserving of postseason accolades than he received?
I mean, that guy's amazing. I can start, like 15 years back, but that dude's amazing. It's nothing he does on the field, on camera. It's everything he does off the field, off the camera. How he commits himself to the Lord, for one. He trusts the Lord, so that's why he goes out there and plays fast and literally tackles like a maniac, because he knows everything's in the Lord's hands. So that's for one. And then for two, he trusts his teammates. And we trust him. We know that he's going to play fast. And then he loves us. He loves us unconditionally. No matter the mistakes we make, no matter if we get on his nerves, I get him mad every single day. Literally, he gets mad at me every day. But that guy right there, he's a tremendous hard worker, and he just continues to just push himself. And you guys just get to see it when the cameras come on, but this guy pushes himself like no other, more than anybody I know off the field. So I know he's just going to continue to do great things in life.
Appreciate it. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Psalms 105, verse 1. Give thanks to the Lord, proclaim his greatness, and show the whole world what he has done. Amen.
Merry Christmas. I believe so.